ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome on the man of the hour himself, Golf on CBS's newest teammate, newest member, on-course reporter, digital contributor for the CBS team, Mr. Johnson Wagner. Johnson, let me be the first to say, at least on this platform, the Golf on CBS YouTube channel, congratulations on joining the team. We're happy to have you.
It is like I've done a lot of things in my life, and I've played on the PGA Tour and working in TV the last 3 years. Like I can't think of a moment that I've been like more happy and like pinch me moment than this right now. Like being on the CBS Sports Golf team is I'm just excited to sink my teeth in and get to work and working with Jim Nance, with Trev, with Frank, with Dottie, with Mark, with Catalan, with everybody. Like I'm just words truly can't describe how excited I am to be joining this team.
Yeah, you mentioned some of your teammates. You got Jim, voice of golf, I think is probably fair to say. Most sports probably. Trevor, you guys played at the same time too. Just a great team, both on the front end, in the back end. When you list those teammates you have, kind of what are your thoughts going through your mind?
And I don't think I mentioned Frank Nobilo, which I love Frank Nobilo. So when I started at Golf Channel, I wanted to be on the Live From team so badly because of Frank Nobilo, because of the stuff he got to do on the course. And I've got to give Matt Hegarty from Golf Channel a ton of love and a ton of credit for putting me out there. It was his idea for doing these on-course stuff. Frank Nobilo, when he would do those things on the course and hit the chip shots and do everything he did, I thought it was the best golf studio television ever. So like being on the same team as Frank, like Frank is somewhat of an idol of mine, and so is Ian Baker Finch. And just to be mentioned in the same breath and to be on the same team as those guys is like, I have chills right now. I'm just, I'll go wherever you want to go with that, but it's unbelievable. I think it's finally now setting in what's ahead of me, and my excitement level is through the roof.
What is it about Frank and IBF that you really appreciated so much and kind of idolized almost?
I think the fact that they were accomplished players and were able to transition into a role and become, you said it with Jim Nance is the voice of golf. Well, Frank Nobilo and Ian Baker Finch have been right, kind of there with him and calling holes and doing all that stuff. I just have so much respect for now realizing how hard television can be sometimes. I have so much respect for them having that second career, and obviously having the love of the game of golf that I've gotten to know through both of them. Well, especially Ian. Frank can be a little bit of a black cloud sometimes when it comes to the game, but Ian and I, even when I played, his love for the game of golf and my love for the game of golf is why I have so much fun doing television and covering the game. It's this passion. I've never had a real job. I grew up caddying, and then I played golf, and then now I get to talk about golf, and it's just I'm not qualified to do anything else, so I'm happy I'm in a good spot for that.
Yeah, definitely happy to have you too. Was there a biggest surprise making that transition from playing to the TV side of things? Did anything really stick out and kind of took some time to get your feet underneath you?
Yeah, I think no players on the PGA Tour have any idea of what goes on in television. And I keep thinking it and saying it, that there needs to be some sort of rookie orientation where players come into the television compound. They come and listen to a broadcast sometime and put an earpiece in and have the producers talking to you while you're trying to talk. There's been so many surprises in television, and it's as a golfer, we're always trying to get better and better until we don't, and we start getting worse. And so to find a new career where I can grow and I can improve daily, weekly, yearly, that's been the best thing for me, is that I have a new passion that I can see myself getting better and better at.
Yeah, and to addition to the on-course role, you're also going to be contributing on the digital side. That's kind of where I live, so I'm pumped to have you. Welcome to the team on that front too, Wags. I'm curious, are we going to see some of the old stuff, maybe some of the new stuff? Do you have a vision, kind of what that might look like on your end?
I do, and I don't think anything's really set in stone yet. But I know a lot of people are concerned with me leaving Golf Channel and Live From that we're not going to be doing recreations anymore. And I have to say that is not the case. I don't know if they're going to be signature events. I don't know where they're going to be yet, but we are going to crush it. And I have so many ideas, and I'm really excited to sort of sink my teeth into this next sort of evolution of what I've been doing, and grow it to something not necessarily better, but just grow it and keep building on what I've already built with Golf Channel.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talked about kind of the ideation process of you recreating those moments and shots a little bit with Matt. Can you kind of take us through that whole process and kind of how it came to fruition on your end?
Well, it started with the whole Frank Nobilo tee to green segments that he did, and Matt Hegarty said, "I want to take this live. I want to do it live. Do you think you can go out on the course and pick a shot and try to do it?" And I was like, I don't know if I can, but I'll certainly try. And it just sort of steamrolled from there. There's Jeff Fabian, another producer at Golf Channel. It was me and Matt and Jeff and my field producer, Andrew Bradley. And we would sort of have a text chain going on during the day. And usually we're all together, and we'd kind of be weeding through which shots we liked, which shots we didn't, where we're going to go, and we'd ultimately settle on, where we'd end up at night. And it just it's been fun to do it, and talking to golf fans about it and how much they loved it. I have been blown away. Like I often say, I wish people loved watching me skull and chunk chip shots when I played on the PGA Tour, because I would have had a lot more fans out there.
Yeah, I mean, what's the game like? Because I feel like, fortunately or unfortunately, depending what side you look at it, the poor shots from you typically are the ones that catch wildfire, right? And so, I mean, we got to start maybe a Justice for Johnson hashtag or something on Twitter, where like we need people to realize you're a 3-time PGA Tour winner. Are you playing often? Are you keeping a handicap? What's the current state of Johnson Wagner's game going into 26?
I'm a plus 2.4 right now. My son, who's 16, is now giving me a shot. He's which is amazing. And he's got his friends and teammates at his high school team that he plays with all the time. But I love playing golf. I play with my brother. I play with my son. We have a bunch of friends in Charlotte that we play with. But I don't practice anymore, and then that's the problem. And if I do go practice, I go hit balls. I'm not going to the chipping green and standing there trying to fix the issues that I have. And maybe that's the issue. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe I should start practicing my short game. But I love playing the game.
It makes for good TV. I'm curious, behind the scenes, kind of leading up to those shots, any warm up, any stretching, like what's going on 10, 15, 20 minutes before you're hitting?
Well, usually I've been in a trailer all day in the TV compound watching the golf, deciding what I'm going to do, or I've been walking with groups and kind of figuring it out. Or a lot of times for the PGA Championship, I was calling it on radio and then going straight out there. There's no warm up shots, and then I get out there and it's like a crack the back, stretch a little bit. And wait for 45 minutes to an hour to go on air in position. So it's awkward. It's awkward. One time, my field producer, Andrew Bradley, he's like, hit a couple practice chips. And I did, and I hit them beautifully. And then I just completely failed after that. So after that moment, I thought, let's just do first try. I don't want to waste a good shot on a practice chip. So I go out there cold and just give it my best effort.
Do you have a favorite shot that you've pulled off?
I mean, the Bryson shot at Pinehurst on 18 when he was in the bunker and hit it up there close, and I sculled my first attempt live on air over the back of the green, maybe in the clubhouse. I don't know. We never found the ball, but he came and I hit it to like a foot, which was amazing to do that with him. But the best shot I ever hit, there was two this year at Tour Championship at Eastlake. It was Saturday on 15, the Island Green par 3. We're sitting out there for about 30 minutes. It starts raining. I had like 5 balls I was going to just hit into the pond to warm up with. It's 220 yards, and I pull out a 4-iron. There's people behind me because that's where the entrance is, and I just flush a 4-iron, first swing of the day, going right at the middle of the green, and it came up like 2 yards short in the water, and it was frustrating. But also that week on 16, there's a huge slope that rolls down, and I was showing a short-sided pin. I believe it was Thursday, and I picked this 60 flop to like 5 feet. And later that day during the telecast, Justin Thomas, I think there's 3 people that hit down there, and they all made bogeys or doubles. So I felt pretty good about that one too.
Yeah, I remember that one. JT was playing ping pong a little bit.
It's
nothing for Wags, man. Nothing for Wags. Do you have one that you kind of wish you could get another crack at?
I mean, all of them basically. There was at Valhalla last year at the PGA Championship. I sculled and chunked a couple chips on Thursday. It was a Xander Schauffele shot, and it was in front of like the drivable 6th green, and I completely made a fool of myself. I think that's when people started paying attention. But it was a basic pitch shot, and I would have made double from there, and it was that one I would love to have back.
And I know you guys did the Tiger 2000s tour, kind of recreating some of those key shots that he had. Any shot in golf history, if you had to choose, I know there's an absolute zillion of them out there, but if you could recreate one, or one that comes to mind, what do you think you'd pick?
I mean, it's not even close. It's Tiger Woods 2005 Masters 16th hole, that chip in. I would do anything to be able to try to accomplish that one.
All right, we'll talk to the boys and girls, see what we can get done there. Might take a little time. We'll see. And I'm curious. You do have this like everyman type of persona. Your personality just absolutely rockets through the camera when you're on screen. It's awesome. Is that all natural? Is it something that you've had to work on and kind of like, all right, we're up, and kind of pump yourself up for? Or is it just 100% natural Johnson Wagner?
I have more faults than I have fingertips. I have so many faults in my life, but one thing I think I'm really good at is loving life. I love living. I love to have a good time. I like to laugh, and I think I had a producer my first week doing studio television at Golf Channel. His name's Harris Chang. And he told me that it was Saturday. I'd worked Thursday, Friday, and I was stiff and tight and nervous and thought I had to be something different. And he walked me down to the studio and he said, Johnson, he said, the guy that I've been hanging out with watching golf the last 2 days is the guy that I want on television. He said, I basically want you to pretend like you're at a bar talking golf to your buddies. And so I've tried to, since that day, I've tried to be myself. And there's like, I thought I needed to be Brandel Chambly. I thought I needed to be Frank Nobilo. I thought I needed to be somebody else. But since that day, which was my first week doing it, I thought, okay, I'm just gonna be me. And I try to come off that way in every aspect of life.
Yeah, well, we're obviously the better for it on the other side because you're A1. I am curious about just in your era. It seemed like guys were maybe a bit more easygoing. Your playing time, they would maybe let loose a bit more. There would be more stories, I would say, from guys on the PGA Tour during your time. That's kind of not the case at all anymore. Obviously, the golf is unbelievable this day and age. What do you think about that kind of like back and forth between maybe personalities not shining through as much? Obviously, that's our job, being able to tell those stories, but also on the flip, like the golf getting better, the product maybe being better, but maybe those personalities not being, like they were during your time.
We've gotten to the point where guys are playing for so much money. We have a ton of technology. Like you look at Whoop and wearing that wristband, and it tells you basically if you've had one beer you got it on. If you have one beer, you're not going to sleep as well as you would. And I think these young guys are starting to be professionals from a much younger age. I mean, I see it with my son who's 16. He likes to work out, which is he really my son? I don't, it's crazy. They like to work out. And then when you go to college, they have this, sort of program where they're working out 3-4 days a week during the season. And it just has developed. And I think that's the Tiger effect. Like, I obviously watched Tiger growing up, but I'm 4 years younger than him. And the generation that we're seeing coming up now grew up idolizing him and watching him on YouTube and trying to learn from him. I talked to Luke Clanton the other day. This kid, Luke Clanton, he is a superstar and he has personality. And I think he's a humble, young, kind guy. And he watches Tiger Woods 2019 Masters highlights to try to replicate that sort of calm on the golf course. So I think these guys look to him and see the way he did things from a workout, from a discipline perspective. And I think that's the difference. Like, I was watching Fred Couples and Andrew McGee and Fuzzy Zeller and Craig Stadler. And that's who I, kind of modeled myself after. And these young kids growing up, they're all looking at Tiger. Now Scotty.
Did you have a favorite personality in the locker room back in the playing days?
Carl Peterson, by the way. I don't know if you've spent any time with Carl. Carl Peterson is one of the all-time gems of professional golf. Like, you would want to play with him, but if you didn't play with him on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you'd want to be around him so you could either have breakfast with him before the round or lunch with him before the round or after the round. Like, there would be times where we'd be having lunch after a round, and an hour and a half would go by, and my caddy would text me like, "Are you coming out to practice?" And I'd be like, "Sorry, lunch has gone long. I'm sitting at Carl's table." Carl Peterson is an all-time gem.
That's awesome to hear. Okay, we got one little game for you. I want to know, how well does Johnson Wagner, the media member, know Johnson Wagner, the player? If that's okay.
Yeah, I think I know him pretty well.
Okay.
He's the same guy. I better know
same guy. Allegedly. Okay, first question. When was your first top 5 finish on the PGA Tour?
Sanderson Farms 2007 in the fall. It probably was called the Viking Classic.
Damn, 1 for 1. You remember who won?
Yeah, Chad Campbell.
Yeah, Mount Flushmore. Gosh, that guy. Okay. Most recent top 5.
2019 Puerto Rico Open.
Yeah. God. And I say most recent because I feel like with sponsor exemptions these days, we can maybe sneak you into like the ISCO or something. I still have.
I'm thinking about
it. Okay. Breaking news. Your best world ranking.
60th.
God, this guy is good. Okay. This is the tough one. Okay. Your made cut percentage on the PGA Tour.
I'm proud. I'm extremely proud of this because I know it's over 50%, but it's not much over 50%. I'm going to say, I'm going to get really precise here. I'm going to say 52.1. No. I'm going to say 51.7%.
Damn. 51.38. Oh, kid is good though. Okay. Kid is good. Okay. 186 out of 362.
Yeah, that's why I'm not playing anymore, because I can't let that percentage drop under 50.
Yeah, and look, 50%, that's Hall of Fame in some sports. You got to realize that, So we'll leave it at that. Okay, last.
The funny thing is, I think I lead the PGA Tour in missed cuts by 1 shot. I'd always come to the last hole needing a par to make the cut, and most times I would make bogey. So that's.
I'm sure you're not the only golfer who feels that way too.
Fair.
Okay, last one. Your playoff record on tour and who they were against and the result.
Yeah, I'm 1-1. I beat Spencer Levine in a playoff in 2011 at the Mayakoba Golf Classic,
Yep.
and then in 2015, my honey hole, the Houston Open. I have an annuity from that tournament at Golf Club of Houston. I lost to JB Holmes on the second playoff hole, and we knocked out Jordan Spieth on the first playoff hole. And an interesting point about that, Jordan won the Masters the next week and was on like this run of all runs. But first playoff hole, JB hits it down there like a mile, and Jordan and I are ripping 4-irons in, hardest finishing hole on the PGA Tour. We're both in the right bunker. He chunks it, leaves it 40 feet short. I hit it to like this out of the bunker, and my coin was right in his way. And he walks up and he's reading his putt, and he's like, "Hey, do you mind moving your coin?" And I was like, "Jordan, I'm so nervous right now. I'm not touching my coin." And he literally burned the edge of my coin and missed the hole on the right-hand side. And I've always felt guilty about it, but I couldn't physically bend down and move the coin. It was just like, it was beyond me. And maybe he wouldn't have won the Masters had I moved it.
What was the energy around Spieth like in 15? You know, was there a sense among everyone like, this kid's, yeah?
I had met him I met him in 2013, but he played his first Players Championship in 2014, and I was staying in the house with JJ Henry that week, and they had the same agent. Jordan came over to play cards with us one night, and I fell in love with him. He was like the greatest dude ever, and I feel the same way now about Luke Clanton. And yeah, there was major energy around Jordan Spieth, and I'm just hoping and waiting for that to come back, because he is one of the best things that's ever happened to golf, and golf is in a much better spot if Jordan Spieth is playing well.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a good 26. Maybe not as good as our Virginia Tech Hokies, but Johnson, are we winning the national championship by 2030? I feel like that's fair.
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to guarantee we will make the playoffs by 2030. But I don't know that we'll win the national championship. We're gonna be in the playoffs. I would say in 2028 we will be in the playoffs. James Franklin is just bringing it to Blacksburg right now. All the recruits he's bringing in. I just can't wait for the transfer portal to open up so he can siphon some guys from some other places.
Yeah, I can't wait either. I say 27. I'm a little more optimistic than you, I think. But Johnson, I know I speak for everyone from the Golf on CBS team. We're pumped to have you on the team. Can't wait to work together, and can't wait to kick some ass in 26 with you.
I'm so excited. Thank you for having me today, and this is like one of the greatest honors of my life, and I'm not gonna let it go to waste. I'm gonna work my tail off and get better in every avenue I can. Thank you.